So, as I mentioned, the ASISA Foundation was so well positioned. It is the optimal structure to achieve national objectives. And again, I go back to the vision of the leadership of the ASISA board in founding our organization. Together with the ASISA Enterprise and Supply Development Fund and the ASISA Academy, we make up these Foster the Future entities. But we exist so that we can be focused. We can be focused on achieving national priorities. The establishment of the ASISA Foundation is part of ASISA's strategy to achieve transformation of the society, but also the financial services sector. And so all of our work, our focus, our where we seek to be relevant, we strive to align to national priorities. We have the broad National Development Plan, which has as its focus the education sector, the economic sector. It focuses on partnerships. It focuses on growth of our country. And so when we select or try to see where we should go and reach out to which beneficiaries, which is guided by the code, but also how to position our program so that it's relevant, we consider what these national priorities are. We work very closely with National Treasury and the National Consumer Financial Education Committee, or the National Financial Education Committee. So our strategies are aligned to national priorities. It's very important given that we're a national body. But an example of us contributing to the National Development Plan is the extent to which we would, for instance, target young people, young adults who are currently and continuously facing the challenge of unemployment and continuously facing the fact that even though they might be educated in a particular course or program, their actual financial knowledge, the ability to relate finances to their world, and once they start earning money, to be able to protect their wealth and to grow their wealth, is something that we believe the perfect timing to do that is when young people are, or when they are young people and when they are particularly at tertiary institutions. So we have programs, for instance, known as L Plus Earn. You learn and you're about to earn. And the 3 programs we have is targeted at university students who are particularly interested in investment opportunities. We have programs targeted at TVET college students, where there's quite a big focus on helping to prepare them for the world of work, whether it's just in CV development, but also all our young people have this responsibility of family responsibility and how to help them engage with their families, particularly from the time that they start earning money, and yet, wanting to grow their own wealth or strengthen their own position, but at the same time being responsible for their families. So we contextualize our education into the burning platform or into the need of the participants. With the young people right now, there's this huge unemployment situation where they might be qualified but they can't find work, and particularly those who come from previously disadvantaged backgrounds, or those who are in the poor and vulnerable, find themselves in poor and vulnerable areas. So our focus there is actually to equip them with entrepreneurship mindset and skills, and to strengthen those who have already started with some side hustle or some business by giving them really good guidance and advice in the programs, but with a very core focus on financial management and understanding or enhancing their financial capability so that whatever they do can be sustainable. The other area of how we make sure that we are contributing to the National Development Plan is to make sure that where there are national priorities like agriculture, government currently is focusing a lot on rural development, and particularly in the agri sector. So you have many community members who form part of cooperatives. They trying to grow and enhance this whole agri sector, but financial capability is sorely lacking. And so we develop programs that are contextualized into that sector and speak to the issues that those members face. We have so our approach is to establish memorandums of understanding with different national bodies. And through our interaction with those bodies, we are able to reach the targeted beneficiaries, but in a way that has strategy, that ensures we're working with other players so that when we step out, the impact of our program continues. And that just ensures a more sustainable reach through what we do. So for instance, we work with the National Cooperative Financial Institution, the National Cooperative Banking Development Agency, and they have cooperative financial institutions, and we work with different members of those financial institutions in terms of doing our training. When we try and reach workers across the country, we connect with workplaces, with places of employment. We do a lot of work with government departments, whether they be provincial, national, or local government departments, and through those departments we are able to access the workers. And then finally, our FLAME program, which is our business development program for township business owners. We work through the various hubs, business hubs in the different regions to ensure that we reach business owners in a sustainable way. But most of all, we try to ensure that we are contributing to the National Development Plan and to the different elements of that development plan. So that's our contribution to the National Development Plan. So the ASISA Foundation, as a national body, and as it was structured to enable the contribution to the National Development Plan, in its structure and in its achievement of its objectives, when we looked at the Sustainable Development Goals, which is basically a menu of the world's problems and the call to countries to contribute to solving the world's problems, that is what the SDGs, the 17 SDGs represent, we were astounded really to see the extent to which what we do as the ASISA Foundation, as we roll out our programs and as we strive to collate information for the purposes of proving compliance with the various legislation within which we operate, we were able to demonstrate that our activities contribute to at least 9 of the Sustainable Development Goals. And as a result of that, we are now able to report in accordance with Sustainable Development Goals. And right now, within our ASISA member base, integrated reporting, sustainability reporting is all very pertinent, all very relevant. Every entity needs to have a sense that when it makes a contribution anywhere, that it is a sustainable contribution and that it speaks to a broader strategic objective of the organization. And so it's really so refreshing to be able to give feedback to our funders and donors and indicate to them that when they've given, besides getting BE points by contributing to the foundation, their funding has also contributed to specific sustainable goals, and they are then able to connect that back to what their own sustainable goals are to the extent that there are common practices. So for instance, the 3 key sustainable goals that the foundation contributes to would be SDG 4, which speaks to quality education. All of our programs are based on quality educational standards. We align to the SACWA standards and we make sure that it is quality education that our participants can relate to and that we can trace back to education modules. So we very strongly tick that box. I mean, we are all about financial education. But then similarly, because of the way we are structured, we have to collaborate, we have to find partners to be able to deliver these programs. And so we strongly contribute to SDG 17, which speaks to partnerships for the goals. So whether it is the partnership of the ASISA memberships or the partnership with others in the financial services sector who have contributed to the ASISA Foundation, their funds and their skills, whether it is with government, who the various departments have also contributed with us, whether it's just through the funding or through their involvement with us in the delivery of the programs, whether it is reaching their the beneficiaries that are within their cluster, within their group. So whether it's the cooperatives, the housing cooperative, the financial cooperatives, whether it is the business hubs, whether it is the government provincial departments that we reach our workers, whether it's the universities and the technical colleges through which we reach the students. These are all partnerships, they are all collaborations that are powerful and enable us to demonstrate that we are contributing to SDG 17. And in all of our work each year, we have to demonstrate that we are reaching at least 85% Black South Africans. So we have to collect a lot of information that we keep in an up-to-date database, and SDG 17 talks about having up-to-date databases of work that is being done in terms of the goals. All of our programs are subjected to monitoring and evaluation and continual assessment, and we keep records of all of those assessments and who has attended and where they are from, which province, and all of that, and their ages, and different designated groups. So we actually have a very strong, powerful database that we can therefore say we contribute to SDG 17. And the other one is SDG 10, which talks about reduced inequalities. And as I've mentioned before, we have seen in these past 10 years that financial education, when applied by the person who's received the knowledge and has learned the skills, when it's applied to their lives and the capability has been improved, it most definitely is a tool that enables reduced inequalities. One of the minimum things we have to do is ensure that we reach at least 40% Black females. So all of our programs make sure that we include females. So gender equity is also an SDG that we contribute to. There are many others. Like I said, we have 9 that we contribute to. It includes things like creating decent work. It includes things like exposing people to technology and making sure that gender equity is achieved. And this all happens just in our conduct of our business as we are driven by our own strategic objectives. But it enables us to say that we are and have contributed to the Sustainable Development Goals.